There we go. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Captain Future Show. Michael Cillian today on Earth Day, the 50-year celebration of a day of our planet. And like Greta said on her post today, every day is Earth Day. Like my mother used to say to me when I asked on Mother's Day and Father's Day, when is this the Children's Day? Every day is Children's Day. Yeah. And every day is Earth Day, and every day is something else. But why and how do we celebrate days at all, like Earth Day? And my favorite better is Spaceship Earth Day, or soon it's May 4th. That is Star Wars Day. May the 4th be with you. That's why I have my lightsaber here to to talk about that. So the whole calendar is full of days to celebrate, and some more important than others. That depends on what you think is important to celebrate. Everyone celebrates Christmas because everyone agrees that this is a story we should celebrate. Not everyone celebrates Star Wars Day because not everyone is a hardcore Star Wars fan, but I am, so I celebrate Star Wars Day. And I celebrate the days that mean something to me and my friends and my community and stuff like that. But Earth is something that matters to everyone. So why should we celebrate an Earth Day? Or what is Earth Day anyway? I just saw the documentary with Michael Moore today, the Planet of the Humans. Go see it. It's very depressing. So we try to keep the hope and the light up. Yeah. It's about there are too many of us doing too much too fast, and that's we known. When is Star Trek Day? I don't know. You have to Google that for me, Christiana, or join the show if you can. I think I sent you the link. Star Trek Day. Let's Google that. The Star Trek Day is generally celebrated on the 8th of December when the first episode aired, 1966. So 8th of September, we will celebrate Star Trek Day. And we will do that together then, Christiana. We're both Trekkies. Star Trek Day, 8th of September, 8th of Spet. Yeah, but Earth Day, yeah. Or another, last year I celebrated something called Spaceship Earth Day, Buckminster Fuller Day. It's not the same day, it's another day. We also celebrate that we live on a spaceship. And why is this important? We're fucking out the planet as it is right now. Too many of us doing too much too fast, and that's the story of Michael Moore's movie. And also an excellent book I read this winter called "There Is No Planet B," that says for all the green tech and all the solutions we're now doing, it's not the tech solutions we're gonna need for this society to do what we do. The only answer is we have to, like Flores talked to me earlier, but we have to do a whole new way of organizing society. The profit-driven, market-driven society we have today doesn't pay for any externalities or the fuck up we do to our planet. The overfishing of the sea, the pollution of everywhere, the cutting down of natural habitat in the search for all the kind of stuff we need to dig out the ground, even to make green tech like electric cars and windmills and solar panels. We have to dig up a lot of stuff from the earth and destroy a lot of natural habitat in the process. And there are not many natural habitat left on the land part, and we're doing a fair share of destroying the whole ocean as well. So we have to stop all that, and we have to ask ourselves what every activity we do and map that towards the value we create, towards the value we destroy for habitats and ourselves, and the value we consume, and in what rate we consume the value we produce. and this is an equation that's going to take all of us to come into fruition, and it's going to take part in the coming couple of years, or else we're going to fuck it up so much that there won't be a point for us doing any good anymore, and we're gonna transcend in some sort of post-apocalyptic Mad Max society. Maybe we don't know, but that this is certainly a possibility. And in that, we have to figure it out. So we have to go from a profit-driven market economy to a value-driven market economy, and there's tools like that to start thinking. I've been flourishing business canvases and other business models where you map every process of your organization or your daily doing on your company or your work or stuff like that, and you start mapping up what you do, what you consume, and what you produce and what you destroy. And we get a clear picture of that. That is like just step one. Then we have to have another way of measure what we do. Money today have no history. I can make money cutting down trees in the forest and sell them for a large amount of profit, and then claim to do good stuff with the money I earn doing bad stuff, because there's no history of the money, what I do with it. And that's why we have crime today, because crime, the main principle of crime is making money that you can't trace to the crime itself. Almost all criminal activity today is not about stealing food for your family. It's about making money in some way that you can use for other stuff in society. So if there's no money, there would be much less crime, because the crime is money driven, I think. If you're not agreeing with me, please join me in this show and tell me otherwise. I'm but one person and one captain, and I don't have the whole picture, but this is my thinking and musing. This is late night musing today, not with rum but tea. I promised a friend we'll do rum musing, but on Friday night, 9 p.m. 2100, we will do rum musing on the Captain Future show. So that's on Friday. 2 hours earlier today. This is, of course, Swedish Central European summertime. So that will be 3 p.m. Eastern time, or noon Pacific time, or midnight Pakistani time, because most of my ordinary guests are in these time zones. So what else is going on Earth Day? I've been watching a fantastic documentary with satellite photos from the Long Now. There was another history documentary as well I started watching. I've been watching the SpaceX rocket launch, shooting up another Starlight satellite that will give more internet to people. Is it good or bad? I don't know. We certainly need more internet to communicate, but that entails that we have to have good communication also on the internet. And yeah, of course, more communication is good. Like Rehan says, start teaching and learning on YouTube and Facebook Live and everything. Teach what you know and learn from others. But not everyone is using internet in the right way. Not even during a crisis like this. There's many people doing mindless binge watching all days using internet, and not what we actually can use it for. That is good communication, good learning, and good teaching. And I've been in Zoom calls all day, all week, talking to people, listening. Some Zoom calls I just check into listening what's going on and soon out, because it's not my cup of tea always. A cup of tea, but some calls I'm very engaged in, but I listen to many types of different types of conversations and bubbles. Like I said, it's important that you just not spend time in your circles and job bubbles in your Zoom calls and talk about the same thing all over, preaching to the choir, some people call it. But actually listening into different types of Zoom calls, I listening to business calls and stuff like that, that is far from the way I see business in the market, but just to keep an update, see what's going on in different types of calls and circles and views. And I listen to a lot of gaming podcasts and gaming talks as well, and that this is a whole bubble in itself, with millions of people all over the world focusing on their daily gaming stories. And there's a lot of chatter here from Christiana. She has an unstable connection, so she can't join us tonight. Good evening, Christiana. I would so much love to have you here when your internet is better, to talk more about what's important. You're doing very important work in Greece, where you're actually focusing on creating value instead of creating profit. And some business people I talk to, it says you have to make a profit to have a business, but that depends on what your definition of profit is. Is it from the money system? I can run a crime empire, make a lot of profit, and does it make me a good person, a good entrepreneur? Maybe, because I provide for my family and my community. I make a lot of money that I then reinvest in my local community here, or something like that. That doesn't justify it at all, I think. Maybe I should become a crime lord. That seems profitable enough. So let's see. And in that, I just read a post today that John Hagel reshared from Nicole Bradford that said, we are all on Team Human, and some of us in this time of crisis are on Team Now. The nurses, the doctors, all people working in all kinds of infrastructure in society are on Team Now. But the rest of us, we need to be on Team Future, Team Next, I think you call it. And it's all part of Team Human, the book from Douglas Rushkoff, Find the Others. So on Team Human, I'm on Team Next. That's the team that discuss the way we're going into the future. I will send a link to Christiana here. And on Team Next, we can work with all kinds of interesting solutions and problems. And I certainly have my kind of thinking what we can and can't do. For me, like I posted today, I was also in a 1.5 hour call with Otto Schammer and some people working in the Gaia project today. It was interesting listening in what's going on in that circle and hearing Otto talk about what's going on in the crisis. But in this, I think, like I typed out earlier today, I've been talking for a while now, that with so much going on in society, we need the people to actually keep track on that. That's what we call navigators, weavers, or global connectors, or sense makers, wisdom seekers, multi-potentialites, polymaths, the wild card, the jokers, the tricksters, like me and Flores has talked about before on this show. So in this, what is it these people should do, and why? How do they create value? For the first thing is, what's problem are these people solving? There's a problem in society. It's very complex. There's literally billions of different 777 million of us we turned past last week. That many people, that many stories going on, and no one can keep track on every person's daily story, but we can keep track on the stories going on in different bubbles all over the world. So say if a bubble contains somewhere between 5 and a couple of thousand people, depending on your definition of bubble, or it can be like a large bubble, like a whole cultural thing with a couple of million people in the largest cultural bubbles. But in every bubble, there must be people tracking what's going on. And then there must be all the people that meet other people and share notes. What's going on in your bubble? What's going on in your bubble? And connect it. And in every bubble, people will need help solving problems. And this would be the people who listen in. What problems are there in this bubble? How can I connect people in different bubbles doing similar things, or a similar bubble doing similar problem solving? So with that we can elevate our learning and our discovering upon each other, because that's what we humans do. No person born today has to go out into the woods and discover how to make fire by themselves, and how discover how to make a wooden spear and learn to hunt and fish. We all that is a given. We don't have to discover how to weave and sew our own clothes growing up. All that is a given to us, and there's so much more in our society that is a given, and we know about beforehand. And this is how humans, civilization, society transcribes further. We learn from each other. We learn from the mistakes, the experiment, the innovation, the science, and everything, and that moves us all forward as a global collective intelligence of society. And that's what we need to facilitate. And this is what I'm talking to. This is the facilitator of the global elevation, the global innovation of human society, and all that's going on. Let's see if Christiana is ready to come on here. Hello, Christiana. How's your internet? It's lagging for me. I will continue to talk then. Like we elevate from each other, and these people, this is like, I think there's have to be a local office in every small and big city. The big cities, many offices, and the small cities, a local office where you can go into your navigator and says, what's going on locally in my niche, or what's going on globally in my niche, and what's going on globally in other niches that I can learn from. And then there has to be a staff of people going around the world, digitally or physically, checking out, networking, learning, just learning all day, so that they can help other people solve their problems. So this is like people like me who can do the lifelong learning every day, be curious every day, learn new things every day, and map it up and connect the dots. How are you doing, Christiana? I can see your picture, but no sound. Very unstable. Yeah. There's no sound, Christiana, so I can't. I don't know if we can have you. I can help you on tonight. And for me, if I continue this conversation, this is something that we have to start now on Earth Day, to actually organize the global Earthers, the crew members who make this happen. That's what Bucky talked about, and this is what I've been musing on, meditating, thinking on, having conversations with other people on. You're still lagging, Christiana, and so. And we have to start that now. So it's if anyone listening or seeing this, I've been talking about it before, but if anyone is seeing or hearing this, please contact me and see where we can, the first city that will be the first mover to make this happen. I'm very interested to see how we can make this happen together. Because this is what I feel must be done now. We can't wait any longer. So that's why we talk about the learning society. Christian Møyen and Bertola has been working on that all weekend, and 2 days in Trondheim, what they call the concept of listen, link, and learn. And we need all the navigators we can to help facilitate and speed this up. So let's if you know, I was just rewatching some episodes of the early Game of Thrones, the good part, and there they have their maesters. So this is a combination of a maester, combination of a storyteller, of a journalist, of a global traveler. This is what we used religion for in the olden days, like the priests that kept the local community together, and also got his words from God. Not that God ever talked to the priest directly, but if you know what I mean. so this is the story weaver that keeps the local community together and have all the answers to many problems. But then we found out that the priest had almost no answers to many of the important stuff, but they had some answers about how we treat each other and how we keep a community together. And that part we can learn from. There's a good article from Alain de Botton about what we can learn from religion. We certainly don't need a new religion in that sense, but if you are also a fan of Yuval Noah Harari, he talks about this in Sapiens and also in 21 Lessons, his books, about what we need a new type of story, a new story of us, and it's going to be a kind of religion, but not that we have a mythology and a God story and stuff like that, but it's going to be a story of us, a story of human beings on planet Earth, and that's what human rights and UN is maybe about. And the SDGs is a story, human rights is a story, and we can build upon that to build the human story, the human endeavor, I call it. What is it to be human? How do we build a civilization that stands the test of time and stuff like that? And this is really important question that we have time to muse on, most of us at least, sitting at home in our apartments, musing on things, just listening to Zoom calls. In some Zoom calls, we have this conversation. I've been to some fantastic conversation in the last couple of weeks, but in some Zoom calls there, it's not even close. So we have to step it up, humans, and become what we truly are destined to be, a people, a species, a living organism, that because we are in symbiote with all other living organisms, all the microbes inside our gut and in our body, and all the living microbes and all the living animals and plants around us, the fungus and everything that we are symbiosis. But this living ecosystem that is humanity and planet Earth, it's worth celebrating. It's worth continuing our express to understand our place in the universe and understand the universe itself. Something we are getting better at, but we're nowhere near close to knowing. And in that, we have to understand ourselves. Something we're horrible, it seems. Many people are doing so much kind of nonsense and bad stuff that hurts society and hurts each other, and the polarization, and we have no clue what it actually is to be a good human being that will take our civilization, that will stand the test of time. Because we can just continue like we do today and say, why should we do anything? And then a lot of systems will crash. There will be no food and water for many people, and then when people get hungry and thirsty, we're not so civilized anymore. At least we think we're not. We don't know, but it's not an experiment I will run to the end. It's going to be a horrible experiment, I think. But maybe we have it in us to even go through a very deep crisis, like really crashing our ecosystems here on the planet, and see what comes out on the other end. So some dystopian movies portray this in a good or not so good way. I'm thinking of the latest Blade Runner movie that is a horrible experiment that tries to portray a society that couldn't actually exist. If there's no ecosystem on planet Earth, there is no us either. It's not just us and concrete and steel. That's not how we survive. We're not, and that's the illusion we're now discovering during this Corona crisis, that the cities of concrete and steel is not where we long to. We actually long for nature and places where we can feel at home and feel comfortable and safe with our local community or our family or friends and stuff like that. Many of us are now alone, and we long for the togetherness and connectedness that many of us get through the screen like this nowadays. Not so much physical contact. We certainly no social distancing, but it's physical distancing, and we long for the physical getting together and contact as well. So let's make this happen. First and foremost, we need all the people getting a clue on what's going on the planet. Start asking questions everywhere and help people solving problems everywhere. And then maybe we can tell a story. All of these people can tell a story that we need something new going on. So let's organize this mass movement. There's been examples of this. Oh, sorry. Of different people doing different stuff Extinction Rebellion, the Greta movement, and they ask some questions, but we're far from like the problem-solving kind of organizations. We're just the problem awareness or problem or questioning part of it. It says we have to stop what we do right now, but we have, and there are a lot of people doing a lot of community experience with permaculture and regenerative eco villages and stuff like that. Um, and we have to start to experiment on that on a much larger scale, and we have to learn from each other, compare notes, connect the dots with all the experiments going on to see what works and doesn't work. And we have to start now. So that's what I think we have to do now. So join Team Human. Join if you're not on Team now, doing important work in this crisis. Join Team Next, like Nicole. Find it on Nicole Bradford's Medium site or her Facebook, and I'll share it as well today. So join Team Human, join Team Next, join Team Earth. That's us, the crew members, the navigators, the weavers, the connectors, the multi-potentialites, the evolutionary leaders, the wildcards, the jokers, all of us. Let's do this together. I feel both fear and hope for the future, and I can keep a distance to both my fear and hope, and that's what I do. My methods for that is silliness and meditation and playfulness. So that's how I do it. So thank you everyone for being with me. I love you all, and let's do this together.